Well, it's time now for the Hardin Simmons Coaches Show with Coach Jesse Burleson as the Cowboys get ready to take on rival Mary Hardin Baylor. First, we look back at last week's 69-14 win over Howard Payne. Going into last week, you told me you wanted to see your team put together 4 strong quarters, not just 1 or 2. Mission accomplished.
We definitely took a big step forward, and that was the whole goal. We had preached that for 2 weeks, and our guys definitely took that to heart. And I think it was definitely our best performance to this point. What we were most pleased with was our guys that got in the fourth quarter that normally don't play a whole lot. And the first group of offense that got a drive, I think they went 16 plays in about 7 minutes to go down the field and score. So of all the good things we did, I think we were most pleased with those guys that were able to come in the fourth quarter on both sides of the ball and be able to still contribute.
Kyle Brown, your quarterback, named the American Southwest Conference Offensive Player of the Week. 21 of 29, 351 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no picks. He was just solid.
He was Kyle. We knew he'd be able to do those things, and we had a good plan going into it, and he was able to execute them exactly like we thought. I mean, most of the things that we didn't complete wasn't really on him. It was either thrown away because we got pressure or, something, kind of got jumbled up on the route, but I thought he played a really, really good game.
You had the big plays early. Wes Douglas, a 38-yard touchdown, and then the 90-yarder to Dozie Ifeadi. But really, where you really killed him is seemingly those little short passes. Chris Sims, 8 catches for 50 yards. I mean, you were hitting those 6, 7, 8-yard passes this really so effectively that you were doing that all the entire ball game.
The big thing was we had to see what they were going to try to do, and when we could hit the big ones, we were going to take advantage of that. And if they were going to stay over the top and try to, make us earn it, we were going to earn it too. And so we were able to do both. And I thought it was a great mix of being able to do both of those things. And I think that kept us, ahead of the chains and able to hit some big plays for big scores, and then also to put together some pretty efficient drives.
Second week in a row that you've had the special teams player of the week. This week, Pedro Altamirano. What a kicker. He was 9 for 9 extra points, 2 field goals, including a 47-yarder, and I think every kickoff but one, and he had kicked off 12 times, I think, went out of the back of the end zone. What a leg he has.
I think he was in the training room on Sunday. I don't think he's used to quite doing all that, but Pedro has just been, he's been such a great addition to us, and good old Clyde, Texas boy, so those Clyde boys are doing okay.
I was going to say, you knew where he was from. Have you had any kicker that has kicked into the back of the end zone as consistently on kickoffs as he has?
Short answer, absolutely not. Not in my time of being here. We've had some that have been able to do some different things, but none with the extremely powerful leg that he has, and he can do it however you want it. You can say, hey, we want it to the left, we want it in the middle, we want it to the right. He can do it all, and so he has just been a great weapon for us.
Interestingly, the special teams player of the week before was Caden Turner, your punter, who averaged almost 47 yards a punt, down 5 of them inside the 25 of his 7 punts. And this time he only has 1 punt, and he gets roughed. That ends up being a big play in the game, but he never got out again as far as punting in the rest of the ball game.
I told him, I said, our plan is for you to stand by me the whole game. You stay ready, but hopefully we won't have to use you, and that worked out pretty good. He did get roughed on that first one, and
that turned out to be a big play.
It was a big play. It kept the drive alive, and we were able to go down and score, and then it kind of got us rolling from there.
Mary Hardin Baylor now. I was telling Caden Roden as we were interviewing earlier, realized in 12 months, that's 4 times now you have played them. What makes them so good?
Really good players, and they're very well coached. If you look across the board, you look and say, where are their weaknesses? I'm not sure, because they've got good players at every single position on both sides of the ball. They've got a big offensive line that plays really well. They've got running backs that are dynamic. They've got 2 new quarterbacks that can do everything. They've got some really dynamic receivers. So when you look to see where the holes are on offense, there's not any. And then defensively, that's where they've hung their hat for many, many years. They've got a huge defensive line that has a ton of experience. They've got very athletic linebackers, and then their secondary just flies around, and they've got players at safety and at corner. So when you look at them, I think that's the thing, is that they're just a pretty solid team, and they're very well coached. They know what they're supposed to do, and those guys put them, in those spots they need to be in to be good.
I always thought one of the secrets of their success is they were able to get pressure on the quarterback with just rushing 4, which managed to drop 7. They don't blitz a whole lot, do they?
They do not. That's just not been their MO. And I think that they've, of all the teams we play at, they probably blitz the least. And of everybody that we played over the last, 19 years that I've been here, they blitz the least of anybody we've seen. So that they definitely take pride in that.
They have 2 losses to 2 good teams. They lost to Whitewater, who actually ended up losing to La Crosse last week, but Wisconsin Whitewater, perennial Division III power. And then they lost to Division II team Mars Hill, I think, out of North Carolina. So they've got 2 losses, but certainly to quality teams.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. Whitewater's a top 5 team every single year. They've had battles and they know each other really well. And that was a really competitive game. And then Mars Hill up in North Carolina, I think that was kind of a crazy deal. They had to go all the way out there, a Division II team that's fully loaded and a good Division II team. And then there was a long weather delay, and then they had it was just a lot of things that they had to try to battle through, but they battled back and still had chances to win the game.
Okay, what are keys now for the Cowboys?
For us, it's got to be all about us. We've I think we were kind of figuring up. I think I've coached against these guys like 30 times in my time here, and it's just you get to get in those battles, and this is what you love, the big games, and you want to make the big time where you are, and be able to play at the level that we're capable of playing of. So that's what we're keeping our focus on. It's all about us this week and doing the things we need to do.
In the American Southwest Conference again this year for the second year in a row, you play everybody twice, so you'll go down to Belton later on. But getting a leg up would be huge in getting a win this week.
In this conference with the teams that you have, you better focus on one of those at a time, because having to play somebody twice is already extremely difficult. But when you get that first opportunity, man, you definitely want to take advantage of it, and our guys are preparing well.
Well, when we say Hardin-Simmons versus Mary Hardin-Baylor, to me that kind of says it all, right?
Not many words left to be said on that one.
Coach, good luck this week.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it.
Jesse Burleson, that's the Hardin-Simmons Coaches Show, and we'll continue with more after we take this time out.